Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I just recently posted a video entitled Thank You Patreons, and I offered a special on my Learn to Play the Guitar lessons 1 through 7, which is normally $40 for my Patreons for the next Wednesday. Matter of fact, it'll be only $10. And for my subscribers and viewers, I'll give you guys a deal too. So this is going to be entitled, I guess, Patreons or Customer Appreciation Week. I appreciate you guys supporting my channel. And, my goal here is just to help you guys learn how to play the guitar the right way. Instead of just sitting here watching fingers, you got quarters up under your hand, you don't know the name of them. Music is a language, so you need to learn the language. And this is what I'm trying to do for a great price, because guitar lessons are normally $60 a lesson. 4 times a week, that's $240. That's a whole lot of money. My lessons normally only $40 for the entire package. Because when I first started to sell these, because how this get started quickly was people kept asking me, you're a pretty good guitar player, and I do it for a living. So they said, could you put something together to teach us so we can try to get to your level? And for about a year, I was like, I'm just a player. I'm not really a teacher. So, after a year of people asking me, I was able to say, you know what, let me at least attempt to do this. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I did a good job as far as putting together a coherent plan, because that's the thing. A lot of times you just don't understand what they're trying to convey to you. And it's like, oh, forget this, man. I ain't gonna never learn. So, I try to put it in terms where even somebody that doesn't play guitar understands and it makes sense to them. Because I run it past my wife. She don't play guitar because she don't want to cut her nails. But anyway, I showed it to her. So, she said, yeah, this makes sense. Makes sense. So, that's how that was born. But anyway, like I said, for the next week, I'm going to be, only $25 for the download. Now, for your overseas subscribers and viewers, you definitely want to jump on this, because fast forward or rewind less than 4 months ago, in order for you guys to get my package, I had to send you a physical DVD package. It had to go from one seat to another. Then it's held up in custom sometime for 2 weeks. Then you got to pay $17 to $18 for shipping, which is almost half of what the item product costs. So now all that has been eliminated. The walls have been torn down. If you want it today, you get it today. My PayPal information is right down there. Once you submit payment, I send you the files within 3 hours of you sending your funds, you get your product. So that's a great deal. So I really encourage you, overseas viewers that really want to learn how to play the rhythm guitar, for this week and this week only, because I'm going to take this video down on Wednesday evening. So I give you guys, you latecomers, to take a part of this deal or this special. Only $25 for you guys. And again, for my Patreons, only $10. So I thought I would do another video, because I really didn't stress certain things, and then there's some things I thought I omitted that I should have put in there, because I try to make it as easy of a transition for you guys to purchase what you want to purchase. And I've had a bunch of people over like the last year or so, they said, man, Morris, man, thank you, because for years I've been stumbling around trying to learn and figure it out, and I've been where you've been. I've been where you at. At one point in time, I embarked on a journey to learn how to play the rhythm guitar, and I ran across a lot of systems, a lot of teachers. I was like, they basically teaching me the same thing, which is stuff I don't understand. And then they teaching me too much of stuff that I would never use, and then they're not teaching me enough of the stuff that I need to use immediately, because the program that I have 1 through 7 will allow you to play, read chord charts, understand structure of song, because that's something nobody talks about when you go to take private lessons. Nobody ever mentioned that to me, and that is more important than what key you're in. And I know I'll get a lot of flack from the theory heads, but it's true. Sometimes they teach you stuff just for the sake of teaching you, because all the videos that I have on my channel, over 4,000 on both channels combined, the guitar stuff, I've never, ever had to, and bass too, I've never had to apply theory to play none of those songs. None of them. But in order to play the songs that I play, I do have to know and understand structure of song. For every single song I do, I need to know that. I can't get around that. I can get around the theory thing real simple. If you just give me the chords, I can just play them. I don't need to know what key I'm in. Only time you really need to know what key you're in is when you're going to be soloing. And how many songs these days got solos in them? That are pop songs and R&B songs, excluding rock, because they always got solos. Almost none. So why focus on something that you really rarely going to use? But you're going to use every single time you apply playing a song and writing a song, knowing structure of song and understanding that. DVD 7, I expound on that. The entire video is dedicated for that on that subject because it's extremely important. You know, people all around the world contact me and say, could you tab this song for me? And there are songs that I've never heard that they send me. Within 5 minutes, I'm done. The only thing I do now is just put in Sony Edit and do the chord screen things and send it to you. So that, that's, to learn, it takes me like 5 minutes, and to put it in Sony Editing, it's about maybe an hour. So that's like an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm done with your song from start to finish. So it's really important. I stress you young guys, and you older guys too. Don't sit there and say, I'm not going to pay nobody. I'm just going to sit here and watch the internet and 5,000 guys going to teach me 5,000 ways to learn. And it's going to be confusing because you're getting bits and pieces from this dude who do it differently as far as learning. You get bits and pieces from that dude. It becomes a mess instead of one person walking you through his system from start to finish. And that's what I can do for you guys for the rhythm guitar. From start to finish, I can get you there because this is an interesting story. 3 years ago, I had 2 students. One of them was my nephew, and he didn't get any preferential treatment. I taught him just like I teach you guys as much as I can give you guys. So it wasn't like he was at an advantage. But one thing I stressed to him, I said, I'm going to take you on, you got to be serious about this, man. 2 weeks later, you can't be, I changed my mind, put the guitar away. No. And he stuck it out. My second student started this person on the same program, the same time. And I told my nephew, I said, just stick with this program. Create tunnel vision, because there's a bunch of, programs out there, free and got to pay for them on the internet that are enticing. It's like, okay, this guy said he can teach me in 6 months how to play, actually 90 days how to play these songs, which is kind of ridiculous. So I told him, I said, don't focus on nothing but what I'm trying to teach you. And I told the other individual that too, but the other individual decided that they were going to start dabbing from this program, dabbling in this one and that. Fast forward 3 years later, my nephew can play pretty decent, especially for the time that he's put in, so far, which is not a lot of time because it takes a long time to become a really, really good guitar player, unless you're extremely special. You're Hendrix or a Prince. So fast forward 3 years later, he can play, he can read, and he's writing songs. Matter of fact, we're going to get together during his college break, and we're going to work on some stuff in the studio. The other person, still dabbling, still confused, can't really play well. And that's because they start to do other things outside of what I strongly recommended. Stick with this, because it's not going to come overnight. I got a friend who's a black belt, first degree black belt, and I inquired about it. And he said, you're going to have to dedicate 10 years to this to become a black belt. And I was willing to do that, but I was like, I got some other things I need to do. Because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. If I can't do it, I'm not even going to start it. So I was like, you know what? I'm glad that you told me that. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be only 6 weeks and I'm kicking ass like Chuck Norris. But realistically, it was more time that had to be put into that than I anticipated. So I was like, okay, thank you. But again, the DVD lessons 1 through 7, I walked you through stuff that most music teachers don't think is important because they don't think structure song is important. They think what key you're in is more important because I'm going to say this and I'm going to kind of wrap it up. I had someone contact me about maybe 2 weeks ago. I did a really decent cover of Frank Sinatra, Fly Me to the Moon. And I used a combination of jazz chords and bar chords, and it sounded decent, I pulled it off. So they asked me, would you happen to know what key it's in? Actually, it's in the key of A major. And I sent them that information, and I just asked them, I said, I'm just curious, why do you need to know what key is in, because there's no solos in there unless you plan on putting your own stamp in there. And I was interested to hear his response. He never responded. And I think the reason is he don't know why he feels he needs to do this other than the music teachers told him to do it. You know, it's like there's really no reason why you really need to know that other than if you're going to do some improv and you're going to do some solo and stuff. So, you know, you need to know what key you're in to do that. And even though there is a way to get around that too, because I had did it for years. Prince had did it for years. I'm like, I can't read. I don't know what key I'm in, but I'm going to figure it out. And I figured out a way to figure out where I need to be key-wise to do my solo. You know, but that's just one of a few things that the traditional teachers have taught you that you don't really need necessarily totally. I mean, it is nice to know just for the sake of knowing. And Scott, the piano player, had a video, because I remember it was this like it was like yesterday. This had to be about 17 years ago. I was up at night, so watching those Denver commercials, and Scott, the piano player, let's call him Scott, the piano guy, came on. I was kind of laying in the bed. And when he started talking about what he's talking about, I jumped up and I said, damn, I've been talking about this for 10 years and nobody listened or believed me. And he was saying how, you know, unless you're trying to go to Classicalville, yeah, you need to know all that stuff that they teach you. But if you're just one guy that just want to come home after a hard day's work and play a little piano or play in a little band or whatever, I can teach you how to get there quicker, because all that other stuff is not necessary unless, again, you want to go to Classicalville. And it's wonderful if you can get to Classicalville. And that's the same approach that I took with my DVD lessons 1 through 7. I only give you stuff that you're going to need and going to use. I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of stuff that you ain't going to never use because you're paying for this. You know, because that was the question I had when I was learning the formal way for years and going from teacher to teacher. You know, you come in, most of us come in and say, hey, I love to be able to play some of the stuff I hear on the radio. I can get you there, but it's going to take you about 5, 6, 7 years. You know, from day one, my program will put you on that track path. From day one, you get going. It's still 2 years later. Now you're finally getting around to what you asked for and paid for 2 years ago. Now they slowly spoon feeding you this information, which they don't have to. You know, one of the big things that I kind of figured out on my own, and the light bulb went off, you know, again, you want to play your favorite stuff. I'm a black dude, so I want to play some old 70s R&B stuff, even though I play everything. But, you know, that was my initial draw in. I was like, I want to play some Motown stuff, you know. I want to play some Rick James Can Function. So, you know, I'm learning, and they teaching me open chords, which is mainly for ballads, mainly for pop stuff, mainly for country and western stuff. And rock stuff, rock ballads, and I'm sitting here strumming open chords to a Chic song. I'm like, this ain't working. It don't sound like the record. And that's because nobody taught me that R&B and other styles of music, formats of music, they play throughout the neck, use bar chords and open face chords throughout the neck. You are rarely ever going to hear a Can Function song, a Rick James song, a Parliament song at first position, open chords. You're rarely ever going to hear that. But nobody ever told me that. So I stumbled for about a year until I figured it out. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, and nobody told me. You know, but again, my DVDs walk you through trial and error, things that work, things that will get you to the point, instead of I'm going to spend, you know, a whole 6 months on stuff or teaching you stuff you're never going to use, never going to apply, and it ain't going to work for you. You know, one of the first things that they teach you is first you got to go get the easy playing guitar songbook. Throw them in the garbage since they're garbage. Right out the gate, you want to be able to play what the musicians play as far as chords. You know, it's like, well, that chord's kind of hard for you, so we're going to get easy book. The problem with the easy book is most of us, then and now, we learn from studying on with the record. Put the Chic record on, find out where Now's is at, and go. Instead of you get a songbook of that song, but it's not in the key of that song, so you can't play along as a reference. Hello. Throw those easy guitar playing, piano player books in the fucking garbage, because they're garbage. That's a waste of your time and a waste of your money. So I'm going to sign off again. So this is a Patreons and subscribers, viewers appreciation week. You get my DVD lessons 1 through 7, the Patreons. You get it for only $10 to download. You pay today, PayPal information right there. You get it sent today. Overseers, you definitely want to jump on this. Only $25 for you guys. Nothing else, just $25. You get the entire program, and you get it today. You pay today, you get it today. So until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.